My name is Amanda Whitlock, and I will be presenting information regarding contaminated water at Camp Lejeune Military Base in North Carolina. The CDC states from the time of August 1st, 1953 to December 31st, 1987, military members, their families, and civilians working on the U.S. Marine Corps base in Camp Lejeune, North Carolina, were exposed to poor drinking water. Volatile organic contaminants were found in the drinking water that was provided by 2 of the 8 water treatment plants found on the base. The source of the contamination was found to be from waste disposal practices from an off-site dirty cleaning firm. The Agency for Toxic Substance and Disease Registry, also known as ATSDR, estimated that concentrates of PCE exceeded the EPA's maximum contaminant level in drinking water at Tarara Terrace Water Treatment Plant. From these, the most contaminated water wells were shut down in February 1985. The second water treatment plant was found to have primarily TCE contaminants. The drinking water was from Had Point Water Treatment Plant. It was also shown to have multiple sources contaminating the supply wells, which came from leaking underground storage tanks, industrial spill areas, and waste disposal sites. ATSDR also found that Had Not Point exceeded EPA's maximum contaminant level in drinking water. Those wells were also shut down in February 1985. The ATSDR has been researching and assessing the effects of exposure to drinking water since the late 1980s. The exposure to the poor drinking water at Camp Lejeune has been shown to increase risk in individuals to kidney cancer, aplastic anemia, bladder cancer, liver cancer, multiple myeloma, leukemias, non-Hodgkin lymphoma, and adverse birth defects. ATSDR has been studying children as well born at Camp Lejeune between 1968 and 1985 to see if there are such effects such as cleft lip, cleft palate, non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, spina bifida, anencephalopathy, leukemia, and see if those came from the contaminated drinking water. Along with the ATSDR, the EPA, the Institute of Medicine, the National Research Council, and the Department of Veterans Affairs have all been a part of studying the effects from the exposure to PCE and TCE through the poor drinking water. As well as the Congress requested the Navy sponsored a study for the National Research Council to review evidence found on the exposure of contaminated drinking water. On August 6, 2012, the President of the United States signed the Honoring America's Veterans and Caring for Camp Lejeune's Family Act of 2012. This act provides medical care for veterans and their families who are seeking health care for the 15 approved diseases and were exposed to contaminated water supplies while stationed at Camp Lejeune for at least 30 days during this time. There have been multiple lawsuits filed with compensation citing illness such as Parkinson's disease, lung cancer, leukemia, liver and kidney cancer, and lymphoma. Lawyers have estimated that settlements have been rewarded between $175,000 to $350,000 for complainants. The CDC estimates that as many as 1 million military and civilian staff and their families may have been exposed to contaminated drinking water between 1953 and 1987. Research studies are still being conducted of the effects that the contaminated water have on the people at Camp Lejeune, North Carolina.